Today we mourn the loss of a friend and the loss of a brother and the loss of a Nissan Leaf. The good news is that I traded my Leaf in for another brother, a brother from another mother, a Toyota mother, and right now I'm sitting inside of that brother. Okay, I'd like to have my statement retracted from the record. What I mean is that today I went in, I traded in my car, I got something else, because the Nissan Leaf that I had is all electric, and typically electric cars don't do really well in super hot climates like Arizona, especially because the Leaf doesn't have a cooling system for the battery when the car is stationary. So it essentially relies on the car moving to get airflow into the battery and cool it that way. So it's just essentially when it's sitting in the hot weather and the battery isn't being cooled, it's going to degrade a lot quicker. It's going to lose range. It's not healthy for the battery. And because a lot of the highways there are pretty high speed, people are driving at 70 plus miles per hour. Electric vehicles also typically don't operate very optimally at higher speeds. So there's a lot of reasons why the car that I had wasn't going to be a good fit. But it was kind of sad to part ways with it because I've had it for a couple of years. It served me really well. It's been an awesome car. But I've gotten this vehicle instead. It is a little bit older. It has triple the mileage, but it is a Toyota, so it should run forever, hopefully. And it's a nice little car. It's pretty basic. There are not any powered seats. There are not any powered windows. It's a manual transmission, and there is nothing fancy about it, but I'm a fairly simple guy, so it should work as long as should be a good car as long as it functions properly. And we're about to head on the road to drive all of our belongings to Arizona. It'll be about a 20-hour trip, but there's been a lot of change today, and I guess that's what I wanted to talk about today. To honor the Nissan Leaf, which has served me very well for the last couple of years, we're going to be playing an all-electric deck, which is probably not going to be very good, but we're going to play it anyway. And I realized something today, and it's that change and saying goodbye to certain things and moving on isn't easy, but oftentimes it's necessary. Today I said goodbye to I'm saying goodbye to quite a few things, or have said goodbye already. One of them was the place that I worked at. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I was for a time trying to possibly work remote, but figured that wasn't going to end up working out, so I'm not working at the place that I worked at for a couple years. And there's a couple coworkers that I was pretty close with that I'm going to be moving away from, and it was sad to say goodbye to them. And it's just a great environment. I really enjoy the place that I work at, so it was sad to say goodbye to that. Also, just saying goodbye to Oregon. I think I don't go outside as often as I probably should, but I think I take the green and the nature for granted because Arizona is a very dry place with very minimal places of nature you can really enjoy. I also have to say goodbye to the chickens that are just in the background there. That they're about 8 months old, but me and my sister, we essentially raised them from when they were chicks to now, and they're really sweet. They love people, and so it's sad to say goodbye to them. But although change is hard and saying goodbye is hard, it's often necessary because sometimes certain environments, certain people, certain situations just end up holding us back from our true potential. And I kind of believe that's what was happening in my case. I'm not entirely sure because I still have yet to go to Arizona and try something new, but I tried out several different roles with with the company I worked for, and none of them really gave me a spark or really gave me a whole lot of purpose. And so that's what kind of inspired me to move to Arizona, just to try something new, see if maybe it was the situation that was kind of holding me back, or if it was, if it's something else. Because I've tried quite a few different things, different therapies, different medicines, and nothing really has helped all that much. So I guess I'm just, trying out something new. And had I stayed with the company I did and just decided to stay in Oregon, not move somewhere else, I think ultimately it would have held me back from really reaching my potential and finding out what I want to do. So although it's been kind of a hard day in the sense that, I've had to part with a lot of things, say goodbye to a lot of things, a lot of people that I really liked. Ultimately, I think it's going to be for the best. And I think it's important for us to recognize that oftentimes, even though we may love someone or love something, sometimes it's best to step away from that certain thing, to try something new, and to see if, I guess really see if, I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say here, but I guess the whole point and the kind of thing I learned today is that oftentimes we'll have to move on, we'll have to change, we'll have to say goodbye to certain things, and it may be hard to do so. Many people may not want to, but oftentimes it's for the best. It'll help you grow, it'll help you learn, it'll put you in a new situation. So if you feel like you're kind of stuck in a certain routine, in a certain schedule, in a certain habit, just change something up. Even if you're a little bit scared to change something, even if it's a little bit intimidating, because taking that first step of faith is honestly, and just stepping into the unknown a little bit, trying something new, can pay off. So hope you all have a wonderful day, and I guess I will see you next, either on the road or in Arizona.